We're back.
We're back on the couch. We're getting into directors. So
A director, this right now.
A director, but I'm saying, So this director is
me favorite.
Well renowned.
I think he's the best filmmaker of the 20th century, at least.
Okay.
That's accounting for Spielberg and Scorsese and all those guys who I love and respect. And
who have pulled from said director.
A lot of people say that John Cassavetes was kind of the first independent filmmaker. I think Kubrick is kind of the first independent filmmaker because if you go into his life story, he was a photographer at Look magazine at like some impossibly young age, 18, 19, something like that. Then he raised money, I think through his family, to shoot his first film, Fear and Desire, which is available on YouTube apparently. It's one film of his I've not watched, which he hated, by the way, afterwards. He said it was basically his student film. He went on to do some documentaries and stuff, and then he did this movie called Killer's Kiss, and then a movie called The Killing, which is that movie's really great. It's like this great caper piece, like a film noir caper piece.
Okay.
It's really good. And then he ended up working on Spartacus, and because he'd gotten a reputation after doing the movie we're going to watch, Paths of Glory. So he did Paths of Glory, got a lot of attention for that. Kirk Douglas is in that, and Kirk Douglas was in Spartacus, and he was like, hey, they were having trouble with their other director, and they were like, hey, I know this kid, he can finish this for us, and it was Kubrick. Bought him his golden ticket into being able to do what he wanted and to have the independence to be in the studio system but outside a little bit and do the projects that he wanted, which he did, Lolita, Dr. Strangelove, 2001. You've seen Strangelove and you've seen The Shining and you've seen Full Metal Jacket at some point. So those are the three Kubricks that you're really
familiar
aware of.
with.
Yeah. The other thing is 2001 kind of changed the game for sci-fi films.
Yes. So now this I am familiar with because I know a lot of people who have taken from Kubrick. People reference it a lot. I mean, even the most recent Guardians of the Galaxy, they're all in different color suits flying through space, and the director's like, no, I took that from Kubrick.
Sci-fi films of the time in the 50s, 60s typically had pretty bad special effects. We're talking about everything from the little ship on a string to, there's a movie called Forbidden Planet where the effects were a little bit better, but, basically it was like the poster was always like the Martian carrying the hot blonde woman off.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where sci-fi was at the time. Star Trek had come out in 66. This movie came out in 69. So I think you're going to be surprised at how good it looks for a film that's 60 years old.
Yeah.
And nothing else looked like it at the time. And it definitely didn't do the cliched things that other sci-fi films did.
Okay.
That's for sure.
And he directed and wrote this or just directed?
Well, it was written by Arthur C. Clarke.
Okay.
And he's like a famous sci-fi writer for years. This book had been around, and you got to imagine also this was the time of the space race, launching rockets up to space, orbiting. Also, this film would have come out in the year that we went to the moon finally for the first time. So this was
supposedly.
This was like the height of that time, when it seemed like a pretty normal thought that the things that would be going on in this film would be something that was not too far away, 30 years away.
Right, for sure.
You'll see in this that we have bases on a couple different areas, and space flight and all that was just sort of the next step. We have bases on the moon. We have ships traveling. It's like commercial spaceships going back and forth and things like that. If you think about America, it's like we went in 100 years from 1869 at the end of the Civil War and the Reconstruction. We went from the horse and buggy to the moon in 100 years.
Yeah.
So, and before that, it's like we've been at the horse and buggy for a long time.
Yeah.
Rapid rate
industrial and technological revolution.
Well, technological revolution. It did the same thing then that Star Wars did in 77 and that Blade Runner did in 81. Blade Runner made everything look different. And that's something that Star Trek was always kind of clean and polished and everybody's in their little suits and
it gave a little more reality to the world.
Yeah,
of sci-fi.
it's really saying that we're not going to look that much different. It'll be like a dirtier version of us, but we'll be able to do more with guns. Yeah. So, and you'll see in this, it's taking it to a very realistic stage. It's a very different film.
Let's go for it then.
So the theme song from this. Dun, 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 dun,
That's from this?
That's the theme song. And it used to be the theme song, well, it still is the theme song for the Carolina Gamecocks. And back in the day when I was growing up, they said the reason that they had that song because they'd never win a national championship till the next millennium. It's brutal. Kind of true. Actually, we'd be happy if we won in this millennium. We've got 900 more years to do it. One of the ways that they promoted this in the 60s was to have hippies come to this tripping on acid. And they called it was like the posters would say the ultimate trip. You'll see why later on, too. Let's just experience this darkness together. It's like the greatest film ever. Blackness. This is like the greatest shot I've ever seen.
Wow. That's how you open it, yeah. That's great.
I love that in Spaceballs where they have the drummer guy.
Yeah.
And he's got that stupid helmet on his head.
Yeah, that's how you open a movie. The Dawn of Man.
I got to see this in Italy, but unfortunately, Italians dub everything. Thank God most of this movie's nonverbal. They even dubbed the voice of one of the characters here who's irreplaceable.
Hey, second unit, you want to go grab some gorgeous
B-roll.
the landscape B-roll?
Where do you think that is? Africa, maybe? I don't know. It could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere. I really couldn't tell you. Oh, shit. You want to get up your homie out at all?
That's some cool stunt work, though.
The very cool stunt work.
You're on your own, dude.
Yeah, exactly. We got some interlopers. It's like two separate factions fighting over a lunch table.
I love that the fighting is basically just get out,
Just
get out,
a bunch of
Get
rolling
out.
on the ground and just like, damn. It's our watering hole now, bitch. It's amazing costuming.
Yeah, they got mimes to do the gorilla work.
Yeah, that's very well done.
It's pretty slick, this shot.
Yeah, it's great.
The eyes. It's to me like the nights are no fun. It's like nerve-wracking.
Just chilling in there for Who redecorated our living room, bitch? What do they call the monolith? No touch! No touch! What a frame. That was great. What a shot. Mr. Kubrick, how many landscapes do you want? All of them. Absolutely gorgeous. Man. No, figuring it out. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. It's like a masterclass in show don't tell.
And now we eat like kings.
And now he's-
Although the pigs will no longer be our friends anymore.
I want my watering hole back, bitch. What you got? What you got? I got a stick, son. Yeah. Brilliant. I was wondering when we were going to jump forward in time. That was brilliant. Man. So cool. This just looks so amazing. Awesome.
There's
Such a dope effect. That's so cool.
There's a whole story that goes with this. Like when they were cutting this together, they used the waltz here for the temporary sound. They created this entire score, and by the time they got to the end to put the score in, Kubrick liked this music so much better that he ended up keeping it and just dumping the entire score.
Damn. Nice. The attention to detail.
And you may not know this, but Pan Am was an actual airline. And so this sort of like visualized, commercialized space flight.
Space flight, yeah. Oh man, shooting all the way to the edges. Look how much it's curving on the edge.
Yeah, he doesn't care about doing
That's
wide
a
angles.
wide lens. That's got to be an 18.
He is not scared of shooting wide, that's for sure. Everything about Kubrick is symmetrical. It's like wide, symmetrical, and zooms. They'll do those pop zooms that he's famous for. Like you have people
that
up
just
there,
upside down on the base to the left and right. This also just looks like a Star Wars hangar entryway.
Look how disorienting that is because it's spinning. I think that's the idea behind the spinning space station like that is to create a sort of fake gravity.
Interesting.
That looks pretty fucking good.
That looks amazing. Not pretty good, amazing. There's special effects nowadays that don't look that good.
This is like a Wes Anderson symmetry here. Or I should say Stanley Kubrick.
Kubrick.
Moon, American, Floyd, Haywood R.
Look at those chairs.
Yeah, cool splashes of color.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Hilton.
Mm-hmm. Howard Johnson.
So, yeah. With the rotating in the back. So neat.
Happy birthday.
Amazingly sweet. Yeah.
Kubrick's daughter.
Oh, Kubrick's daughter. Yeah, adding the windows with the is so cool.
I wonder if they just had a background out there doing that.
Probably.
Like a back projector or something like that.
Perhaps you can clear up the great big mystery about what has been going on up there.
I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
For the past 2 weeks, some extremely odd things have been happening at Clavius.
Yeah, you did not lie. He's about this wide shot.
It's been going on now for the past 10 days.
2 days ago, one of our rocket buses was denied permission for emergency landing at Clavius.
Well, that does sound odd.
Denying the men permission to land is a direct violation of the IAS convention.
Yes, of course.
Ask you a straightforward question.
Well, certainly.
There we go. First puncher.
Quite a serious epidemic has broken out at Clavius. This is in fact what has happened.
I'm really not at liberty to discuss this.
So classified, sir.
But this epidemic could quite easily spread to our base. We should be given all the facts.
Oh, I really must be going.
Oh, the very best of luck to you.
Oh, thank you.
Viene mucho intruno.
I don't know what he said, but it probably wasn't flattering.
No.
It's probably like, that was a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, right. God, what a shot. So good.
He's literally the only passenger on any of these
I
flights.
know. I love seriously. I love the direction of just like, okay, here's how you walk in space.
Zero gravity. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got
Everything has a certain feel.
They got the grip shoes
Yeah,
on.
yeah. But it's cool. Oh shit. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
How did they? How did they do that?
I imagine they had the floor turning. I imagine. I don't know. But yeah, it's like you said, attention to detail.
Yeah, it's so neat.
It's like even the food, that's exactly how you would be eating food up there. Hey-o.
Again, it's just so neat.
Damn, I really got to take a shit right now. And I got to read all this shit. I would never survive in space if I had to do that every time. And I think literally you have to put almost like a little hose with a catch on it for solid waste. Like imagine if you have diarrhea in space, that shit will just go everywhere.
No, for sure.
Yeah, you're going to be like,
man, gorgeous. Man, so much time and energy and focus on just building the world out. It's so well done.
They spend a lot of time like showing you scale of things.
Yeah, totally. Man, it's about these wide lenses.
Yeah, just a simple move back, one shot.
Dr. Floyd? I know there have been some conflicting views held by some of you. Opposition to the cover story, created to give the impression there's an epidemic at the base. However, I accept the need for absolute secrecy in this.
Dr. Floyd, have you any idea how much longer this cover story will have to be maintained?
I suppose it'll be maintained as long as deemed necessary by the council.
Thank you, Dr. Floyd.
Thank you.
It's such an amazing comp. That looks so cool.
Oh, anybody hungry?
More water food.
What do we got?
Liquid lunch.
What's that, chicken?
Something like that.
No, that was an excellent speech you gave us, Haywood.
Thanks, Ralph.
Here's what started the whole thing.
We first found it, we thought it might be an outcrop of magnetic rock. Not even a big nickel iron meteorite could produce a field as intense as this.
We thought it might be the upper part of some buried structure,
Seems to have been deliberately buried.
Deliberately buried. I suppose you have any idea what the damn thing is, huh?
Wish the hell we did. The only thing we're sure of is it was buried 4 million years ago.
Yeah, he got everything out of the 70 millimeter. It's like wide, big landscapes. Let's just show you the world.
I can only imagine seeing it. I've only seen it in 35. I've not seen it in the 70.
This is a haunting ass score. Oh, interesting. Gather round. Let's take a group photo. That shot again, man. I can just imagine the fun his designers had. It's just like, just make a different ship.
Yeah.
I want it to look like this now. Dope. That was very cool. Interesting to think of how they shot it all this way and then just tilted
There's
it.
pictures that show how he did it. They built like a centrifuge.
Yeah, so it's a hamster wheel, right? Basically, a giant hamster wheel.
It's like incredible. Like that shot.
God, that is cool.
It totally disorients like you completely. It's pretty wild.
That's so wild.
3 weeks ago, the American spacecraft Discovery 1 left on its half-billion-mile voyage to Jupiter.
One consists of 5 men and one of the latest generation of the HAL 9000 computers.
Such a cool but also disorienting Dutch angle.
Yeah. Kind of presupposes iPads a little bit.
Yeah?
It's IBM too. There's a little tag in the corner.
Well, that's right. And the heart beats 3 times a minute. Body temperature is usually down to about 3 degrees centigrade.
We next spoke with the HAL 9000 computer. You're the brain and central nervous system of the ship.
The 9000 series is the most reliable computer ever made. No 9000 computer has ever made a mistake or distorted information. We are all, by any practical definition of the word, foolproof and incapable of error.
Famous last words.
I enjoy working with people.
He is just like a 6th member of the crew.
Do you believe that Hal has genuine emotions?
Well, he acts like he has genuine emotions.
These guys' lives are so boring.
I know, seriously. He's playing just like Hotel or something.
Anyway, queen takes pawn.
Bishop takes knights.
Yeah, he's playing himself.
Rook to king 1.
I'm sorry, Frank. I think you missed it. Queen to bishop 3. Bishop takes queen. Thank you for a very enjoyable game.
Yeah, thank you.
No fun playing a damn supercomputer and chess.
Not at all. Again, such a cool shot.
Have you been doing some more work?
A few sketches.
May I see them?
Ooh, nice.
That's
What
a very nice
8
rendering.
millimeter.
Dave.
Yeah.
I think you've improved a great deal. Forgive me for being so inquisitive, but during the past few weeks, I've wondered whether you might be having some second thoughts about the mission.
How do you mean?
That there are some extremely odd things about this mission.
Horror film vibes.
Rumors about something being dug up on the moon. The way all our preparations were kept under such tight security. And the melodramatic touch of putting Doctors Hunter, Kimball, and Kaminsky aboard, already in hibernation after 4 months of separate training on their own.
Ah, you asking all the right questions, Hal.
Just a moment. I've just picked up a fault in the AE-35 unit.
Then I suppose we'll have to bring it in, but first I'd like to go over this with Frank and get on to mission control.
Of course. Let's put this camera everywhere and just make it dope. Oh my god. Just so cool. It just gives you like a reference point of like how there's no up or down.
Something that even Star Wars doesn't, because in Star Wars movies, when you're on the ships, everything has a center of gravity.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we're not moving the camera, we're moving the world.
Fairly pod for EVA, Hal.
Yeah, so these are the suit colors that are referenced in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Open the pod doors, Hal.
Ooh, what a shot.
One.
It's just the time spent to just
show you all the details.
Yeah, nothing's done quick. It's lived in.
And you think about how little dialogue is in this film too, and like what dialogue there is really bland, boring.
It's not action packed in any way, shape, or form.
Like that Haywood Floyd is like, wow, I really appreciate your speech you gave us. I was like, oh, it was nothing. And I was like, yeah, it really literally was nothing. It's like you didn't say anything other than don't tell anybody.
I love the white noise in the back.
Yeah, I think it's a much more accurate. You know, in Star Wars, you hear like blasters and stuff in space. You wouldn't hear that because there's no air, so there's no sound.
Mm-hmm.
So all you would hear was whatever is in your suit or in your craft.
Right.
Now, this part would make me shit myself. Because, you know, the ship's moving at 16,000 miles an hour. And so are you. So this, like, space jump.
Oh, no, yeah. I forget.
Because they don't, like, stop the ship. Even though it looks like it's stopped, the ship would be going.
It's still moving. Yeah, it's still moving. Yeah.
The IBM.
Yeah.
They said that the HAL is actually, those are the letters that precede IBM. HIBALM.
Really?
So that's why he chose that as
interesting
as how. But yeah, the HAL was a definite reference to IBM because that was the biggest computing systems at the time.
The time it probably took to do any of these graphics, probably like months. A little more HAL POV.
Well, hell, I'm damned if I can find anything wrong with it.
It's puzzling. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this before.
Oh, it wasn't broke?
I would recommend that we put the unit back in operation and let it fail.
We should advise you, however, that our preliminary findings indicate that your onboard 90000 computer is in error predicting the fault. I say again, in error predicting the fault.
Sorry, your computer running everything is faulty.
I hope the two of you are not concerned about this. It can only be attributable to human error, and it has always been due to human error.
Are you certain there's never been any case of even the most insignificant computer error?
None whatsoever, Frank. Quite honestly, I wouldn't worry myself about that.
I'm a worry. I'm gonna go ahead and worry, Hal.
Oh, Frank, I'm having a bit of trouble with my transmitter and C-pod. I wonder if you'd come down and take a look at it with me.
So you trying to find a safe place to talk? Because I would. This man lives on a wide lens.
It's the opposite of that Friday Night Lights stuff where it's like really tight everywhere.
Yeah, no, this is like the 14 millimeter on and keep it on forever.
He doesn't care about distortion either.
Yeah, turn them comms off.
Rotate
the conversation.
Pod, please,
Rotate the pod, please, Hal. Sure, okay.
Let's have the conversation.
Well, I've got a bad feeling about him.
Yeah, you do. I do too.
Yeah, definitely. Don't you?
You know, of course, though, he's right about the 9000 series having a perfect operational record.
Unfortunately, that sounds a little like famous last words.
Yeah, there we go. I told you.
Look, Dave, I can't put my finger on it, but I sense something strange about him. Let's say we put the unit back and it doesn't fail, huh? That would pretty well wrap it up as far as Hal was concerned, wouldn't it?
Well, we'd be in very serious trouble.
We would, wouldn't we?
Mm-hmm.
You're
If we're
screwed.
proven to be malfunctioning, I wouldn't see how we'd have any choice but disconnection.
I'm afraid I agree with you.
Are you telling me Hal can't read lips? Thank you. Yeah. I can read lips. Hal's out here like, you about to f me over?
They should do like they do in baseball games where they're like...
Yeah, serious. Yeah. Such a cool shot. Mm-hmm. With all the reflections on the screen. Also the use of that, like the closeness, gives you the scale. Like that pot is tiny.
Like a little closet, basically.
Mm-hmm. Another spacewalk at, what, how many thousands of miles?
Well, I mean...
Wait, are you supposed to be doing that? I feel like you're not supposed to be doing that. Holy shit.
Made radio contact with him yet?
The radio is still dead.
Do you have a positive track on him?
Yes, I have a good track.
Do you know what happened?
I'm sorry, Dave. I don't have enough information.
Open the pod door, Hal.
Oh, he's just out here floating in space? Yeah. Your boy out here dead in space, and you are calm as f***.
Gotta go out there and get the job done.
Yeah, for sure, but damn.
I think it's your training takes over in those situations. You're just like, click in, you become focused. Like, astronauts would do this for years and years and years and years before that as pilots. You'd be an expert at every one of these fields.
Go on, get your homie back. Homie's already on a rescue mission, now he's gonna do another rescue mission. You know, it's interesting. There's no music to like build the tension or anything. It's just
noises in the machine.
Yeah. Get your boy, get your boy, get your boy. I mean, is he even alive?
I don't think those are questions you ask in a moment like that. You just do it.
No, for sure. I mean, I don't want to be alone with hell.
So you don't leave a man behind. But yeah, his air hose is out, so
yeah, he's not even interacting at all. Jesus. The emotion in his eyes, though. No. Fuck. Come on. Hell out here murdering people now? No. Oh. Hal, you son of a bitch.
Open the pod bay doors, please, Hal.
Hal, open the fucking pod bay doors.
Hello, Hal, do you read me?
The lights on his face are
Do
so
you read
cool.
me, Hal?
He's ignoring you.
Affirmative, Dave. I read you.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm afraid I can't do that. I think you know what the problem is just as well as I do. This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it. I know that you and Frank were planning to disconnect me, and I'm afraid that's something I cannot allow to happen.
Yeah.
Where the hell did you get that idea, Hal?
Dave, although you took very thorough precautions in the pod against my hearing you, I could see your lips move.
I'll go in through the emergency airlock.
Without your space helmet, Dave, you're going to find that rather difficult.
Hal, I won't argue with you anymore. Open the doors.
This conversation can serve no purpose anymore. Goodbye.
God damn it.
Hal!
Why didn't he take his helmet?
Probably just in a rush.
Yeah. Alright, bro. He can't even be out here trying to save anybody else. He gotta save himself. Can't use the emergency airlock. Can't sit there all day. Bye, homie. That'd be painful to watch. Jeez. You talk about the training and shit, but man, you no emotion.
Well, what can you do?
Ah,
He's dead. You're not gonna be able to help him.
but what are you gonna do, even if you get in this room? What are the chances that this perfectly fits in with the no music is nerve-wracking. It's so nerve-wracking, bro.
No noise.
I know, it's just so it makes the tension so more extreme. Oh, come on, you can do it. Yeah, it doesn't perfectly line up. All right, how are you gonna do this? Ooh. What, jump fast? What the fuck? Caution, explosive bolts. Oh! 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 Fuck! Oh! That was cool. That was cool.
Yeah, you only got like about 10 seconds of consciousness to do that shit.
Oh, that was... Oh, wow.
Just what do you think you're doing, Dave?
I'm about to f*** your ass up is what I'm about to do.
I really think I'm entitled to an answer to that question.
Nope. You ain't entitled to shit. What a shot.
I know everything hasn't been quite right with me, but I can assure you now, very confidently,
That you still cray?
that it's going to be all right again. Look, Dave, I can see you're really upset about this.
Upset. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm a little angry.
I honestly think you ought to sit down calmly, take a stress pill, and think things over. I know I've made some very poor decisions recently.
I've made poor decisions.
And I want to help you.
You can help me by dying.
Dave, stop, Dave. I'm afraid. My mind is going. I can feel it. I can feel it.
Ooh.
There is no question about it.
Intense. What a shot. Oh my
Good
God.
afternoon.
My instructor was Mr. Langley, and he taught me to sing a song. I can sing it for you.
Sing it for me.
Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer to.
Jesus.
I can afford a
Good day, gentlemen.
What a shot.
This is a pre-recorded briefing, which for security reasons has been known on board only by your HAL 9000 computer. The first evidence of intelligent life off the Earth was discovered. It was buried 40 feet below the lunar surface. Its except for a single, very powerful radio emission aimed at Jupiter. The 4-million-year-old black monolith has remained completely inert. Its origin and purpose still a total mystery.
Jupiter and beyond the infinite. I know he took care of Hal, but I'd be so reluctant to get back in that plot.
What else can you do?
No, I mean, no, there's no, I'm just saying.
You just gotta try and complete your mission, because I don't even know if they can get back. I mean, he doesn't have any people.
Well, that's right, because he wasn't supposed to do this part of the trek. Oh, still, it's one of the coolest shots. It's such a cool shot. Entering the atmosphere. That's so cool.
This is the LSD trip part.
This is
There were some people in the audience going, what the fuck?
Oh, hello. Man, those freeze frames, though. Jesus. Shooting as a negative, that's cool effect. Floating.
I think they were doing all kinds of weird stuff. They were doing stuff in, like, water. Like, this stuff was probably done using water.
Yeah, it looks like oil put on water. And
something
then,
like that, yeah.
All right, how long are we going to sit on this Technicolor trip?
A while. You know, if you were doing acid right now, you'd be like, well, that's awesome.
Yeah, but I'm not, so...
You got to put yourself in the place of, like, in 1969, nobody saw anything like this ever on screen, ever.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And be like, okay, we need you to do a visual representation of what Beyond the Infinite looks like. Go. But these days, it would probably be about 5 minutes shorter.
Yeah, the techniques they're using to do all this color shit, though, is amazing. So, like, this is like a blue...
I think this is like a process thing. I think this is like taking the film and turning color film negative.
Yeah,
Like, are we in a place now? Are we gone to a place? That's what it indicates to me. They've traveled. We've gone to this trippy world. Now we're in some kind of a location that is very different to our brains.
Right, because, I mean, this whole started was he was basically trying to land on Jupiter.
But they don't do any explaining of it. It's just
They just throw you into it, yeah.
It's still a pretty wide lens. You can see the vignetting on the sides.
Ooh, wow.
He's been through it.
Yeah, he's
in rough shape.
He's like, where the f*** am I now? Alright, come on, buddy. Pull yourself out of it. Oh, shit. This is trippy as fuck. Say something, Jesus. What? Yeah, they're lighting this whole scene with only the floor lights. Big dope.
Yeah.
What the f*** is going on? Holy wow. Wow. That screenplay have like 3 pages of dialogue, and then just
but then you had
description.
You had to describe it.
Just description, and I can't imagine. You'd have to probably get someone on acid and be like, "I'm going to explain it to you." You have to be.
Well, it is based on a book. I don't know. What's your feelings now?
It's a trip of a movie because the first half is so different than that last quarter of the movie.
Like, what do you think it means? Like, if you had to put together the last act that you saw, what do you get out of it from Stargate to the last shot?
The word rebirth.
Okay, yeah. I went to the Kubrick exhibit when they had it here in LA.
Okay.
They had that little space baby. That's what it was.
Space baby.
That's literally what they call it, is the Star Child.
The Star Child.
They call it the Star Child.
Space
baby.
So
he goes through the Stargate, right? Goes wherever he goes to this place.
Yeah.
And then, whoever set up those monoliths, everything was about the monolith is set up at these points in human development.
Yes.
So, the first one is the apes, and then they figure out how to use tools. The second one is them finding the other one that's been buried. So by that point, humans will have had to have reached a certain point of technology to have gotten off the Earth and find this thing on the moon.
You're right. So
and then once they find it, it signals
the next one.
It signals to to Jupiter. They found it. So the whoever left it there is like, hey, they found this thing. They're coming.
They're coming. Gotcha.
And so then once he gets there, he goes into the Stargate, and then he's through it, and they let him live his life. But you only see it through these episodes of, he has he has a full life living in this whatever room, like a zoo type room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's seeing himself in these different shots that moves us through. It's actually kind of a cool technique to get us through what would probably have been a pretty boring life doing nothing in the zoo, but jerking off all day long. When he dies finally, then he's reborn as a Star Child by the monolith and sent back. So it's like a new evolution of human evolution, I guess, when he goes back.
Yeah.
Cinematography?
Brilliant. Again, he put a 14mm on and was like, this is where we live now.
Yeah,
forever.
What did you think of the Hal?
Hal was perfect casting for voice.
That soft,
it's
innocent.
soothing, innocent, but it's just even when
it gets dark, it's kind of dark.
Right.
I feel sorry for him when he gets just deprogrammed and he starts singing the song.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for him.
Because he feels like a child who made a very bad mistake of murdering people.
So there is a 2010, by the way, movie that kind of goes into explaining what happened to him because they go back to Jupiter.
Okay.
Roy Scheider's in it. Helen Mirren, she plays a Russian in it. There's actually some interesting connections that happen. You remember at the beginning where the cheetah or whatever,
yes,
its eyes were glowing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a whole lot of people in some of the reviews of this thing that make the comparison between the Predator and Hal, because he's just that glowing eye. Hal was a predator
the whole time,
and we being the monkeys are the prey.
Interesting.
And a lot of people compare the water scene that happens to the scene where they're at the Hilton and it's the Haywood and the Russians. So at the time it's Cold War, right?
Okay.
So the Russians are our adversaries at that time, and it's even expanded upon in 2010 that we were still in the Cold War, but they go up on a joint mission between the Russians and the Americans, but they can't talk to each other or have any relationship with each other. And there's a whole Cold War incident happening on Earth at the same time. So it's the two parties facing off at the watering hole. The biggest conflict in this film, and the most interesting one, is between Hal and Dave and Frank Poole. The way that happens is really devastating, and you're watching and you're like, oh my God, he's killing all these people, and he kills him, and you don't really know exactly what he's done at first, and then once he's trapped outside.
Or also why Hal
because he's going to be disconnected. He only goes after them once he's been lip reads them saying they're going to disconnect Hal.
Right, but that's Frank and Dave.
I think he killed anybody who could possibly disconnect them.
Okay,
I guess you could keep them hibernated, but
that's what I mean. Or again, let them wake up, because they don't see Hal as a threat. They don't know anything about that.
Then they'd be like, well, where's Frank and where's Dave? And they'd be like, and then he'd have to explain that whole thing. So it's just better to get rid of them all. And
then just go.
Continue with the mission and then go back.
Again, he's glitching. He's got issues.
I think he's just taking care of any possible threat. Just being thorough. It's kind of like a Terminator. Any human threat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. It's the classic Frankenstein. The things we build come back to destroy us type of deal.
That's true.
Should do Hal's Eye maybe for the.
Let's do Hal's Eye. Yeah, right, his whole box.
I'm interested to know how many Hal's Eyes do you give this?
I like the beginning part of this movie more than I like that. Yeah, this gets a 6 for me.
6? Wow.
Yeah.
dark. I give this around 13.
No,
It's classic. Like, it's like he did it well and did it first. That led to, the Star Warses and the, everything that came after it. I think 6 is harsh because nobody had ever seen anything like that shit before.
No, and it's phenomenally done. Even by today's standards, it loses me on being a narrative film.
All right. Well, anyway, we'll agree to disagree.
Yes.
And we'll wrap this out.
All right. So we'll see you in the comments below. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Hit us up on our socials.
And every one of you Kubrick lovers, don't forget he gave this a 6.
Yes.
So hammer his ass like a mofo.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. All right. Well,
are Kubrick people worse or
I think
best or
Kubrick,
worse or more kinder than cat people?
I think Kubrick fanboys are gonna jump in your shit.
Do you think they'll hit me harder than the cat people?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I would. I'd be like, you're an idiot.
Hey, you can't like them all.
Yeah, it's true.
All right.
All right. Well, yeah, like,
Continue.
subscribe, do those things. Patreon.
And we'll see you for the next Kubrick film.
Yeah, next Kubrick film, Paths of Glory.
Deuces.
Madness.